So, hallo, wir sind zurück mit Trails in Reverie, nachdem wir das letzte Mal so ziemlich eigentlich uns Crossbiff zurückgeholt haben. Naja, fast. Also bevor dann ein riesigen Laser auf Jewel Naval Fortress abgefeuert wurde und sozusagen der ganze Kontinent gerade von einer extrem großen Waffe bedroht wird. Upsi. Gucken wir mal, wie es weitergeht. Auf jeden Fall erstmal direkt so melancholische Stimmung. Wenn ich melancholisch bin? Ja doch, melancholisch hat schon hin. The commotion in the city is starting to calm down to a degree. Gajia also helped us recover all of the remaining Zausadas and transport them into the Geofront. The remaining members of the Air Defense Force will willingly surrender themselves too. As for Idia Bladier, she's been taken to the hospital. She's exhausted, but in no danger. Thanks, Helios, for that. She's in good hands with Dr. Sayland. Speaking of the doctor, sounds like we made his surgery was a success. It's a shame can't see her yet, but at least I know she's alright. See you soon. For now, we need to decide on our next move. Who knew something like that would show up on Lake Elm? The Retributive Tower. You've probably seen it's scale enough to annihilate something the size of Juno Naval Fortress in an instant. From what I can see, it powers itself through the spirit wings. Its energy is amplified and reflected by the combat shell satellites in the sky, which then direct them towards a desired target. The technology to fire a beam of its strength with such precise accuracy just doesn't exist in the Empire. But Elysium can realize it. Thought so. The fortress's troops were stationed elsewhere at the time of the attack, so by the grace of the goddess, no lives were lost. Was impressive ist, aber wahrscheinlich auch calculated war von Elysium. I'm more ashamed that my old castle could fall so easily. I don't think any fortress could have withstood a blast like that. The aim was to show its monstrous capabilities, and it served its purpose well. You need only to look at our neighbors' reactions to see that, particularly Calvard's. Indeed. You talked to their new president just earlier, didn't you, sir? I did, yes. Yeah, they worthy of such praise. I truly regret that we've been unable to bring this crisis to a conclusion faster, Mr. President. President Roy Gramhard. It's good to have this line of communication open to us again. Now I believe it would be wise to discuss how to address that new weapon of mass destruction.
それならばすでに我が国は準備を開始しています。あの大戦に間に合わなかった戦力をすぐにでも動かせるくらいにはね。
I see. Surely aware of the extremely delicate position Grosse finds itself in at present. If Erebonia or even Calvard were to try and intervene with force, well...
もちろん承知の上です。それでもあのような宣言があった以上、断固たる対応に動くのは国家として必然でしょう。
次なる裁きの地はカルバード共和国バラティエ空軍基地。天の雷は一切の躊躇も区別もなくかの地を怪人と化すだろう。次の国言は人七〇〇。統一国への賛同。各国首脳には改めて賢明なご判断を期待する。
Actually, also ich bin mal wirklich sehr gespannt, eigentlich dann mal zu sehen im Calvard Arc, wie dann so die Response von so von so der normalen kavaldianischen Person halt einfach darauf ist, auf dem was eigentlich so passiert ist.
共和国軍の総司令部である主要基地がはっきり標的と宣言されたのです。むしろ本来ならば実際に被害を被った帝国が真っ先に動くのが筋ではないでしょうか。
I do regret the position your country has been placed in after a problem that erupted within our borders, but could you not give us a little more time to resolve this on our own? I assure you that we are not sitting idly by while your nation is
も
threatened.
ちろんそうでしょう。非公式だが、それなりの人員も集まりつつあるようだ。ですが、お分かりですね。共和国の協力を断る以上は、帝国の正規兵力も協力できない。そしていよいよ国限が差し迫った場合、共和国は独自にでも動かざるを得ないと。
Also wir haben jetzt einen Time von 3 Stunden sozusagen. Oder sogar noch weniger. Better than Grumhard, sir. Yeah, I fully understand that.
ならば結構。要請さえあれば、共和国軍はいつでも動けます。どうか、お早めのご決断を。マクダエル議長閣下。
Was ist eigentlich so das ähnliche Ding abzuziehen, wie es Osborn gemacht hat? Ja, von dir, aber im Gegenzug wollen wir, wie wäre es euer ganzer Staat? It was about him ruining an exaggeration, at least. If anything, they didn't exaggerate enough. I've heard his actions since the war have made him very popular in the Republic. Until now, we feared that Calvard would use the Supreme Leader as an excuse to invade, but the tower changed everything. They know as little about it as we do, so of course he would be hesitant about approaching it. It's the right move. Playing his card has no downsides for them. I don't doubt that as soon as they have a grasp of the situation, they'll use it as an excuse to intervene and claim Crossbill as their own. I think my only option may be to request both the Republic and the Empire's aid after all. No. Oh, grandfather. The lives of the entire continent are on the line. You don't have much choice. By doing so would cement Cosper's status as a country unable to handle crises within its own borders. But it killed its chance of independence for good. It's almost an impossible choice to make. Knowing where the next target will be works to the Republic's advantage as well. As does knowing that, while it's an important military base, it can be rebuilt with ease, unlike Juno. The deadline is also generous enough to give them time to evacuate civilians in the vicinity of the blast. I'm sure preparations are already underway. Or dare to say that even if the worst should happen, Calvard will walk away with minimal damage at most. Lucky son of bitches. And here we were thinking things would get easier after the sly old fox they had before 423 was out of the picture. The delay could still work in our favor. It might mean we've bought enough time to take care of the tower ourselves. It'll take half a day or more, or nothing at all. Wouldn't bust out the champagne or that just yet. Agreed. The reports that there are far fewer towers at stationed in the city now compared to when it was first occupied. There's only one other place they'll be, so the bulk of them are defending the tower then. Did you figure that the city would be liberated again from the start? Surely not. Actually, after all that's happened so far, anything is possible. I lean toward it personally. Our foe's real goal was unveiling this giant weapon all along. At this point, just who is our foe? It doesn't sound as though Elysium itself has a will of its own. That's right, it needs an administrator. The answer is whoever ousted me from that position and took it for themselves. That all has continued unabated even after the Supreme Leader's demise suggested it wasn't him. He would have been the most obvious answer. Our options otherwise are very few. I'll be honest, I'm not sure this is something Calvard and Erebonia's armies can solve. I don't think so either. The tower is capable of more destruction than even the past war if left unchecked. Well said. That's Arjuna.
その通りだ。そのために俺たちは戦ってきたし、何度でも立ち上がってこられた。どんな壁が立ちはだかっても、今回だって同じだろう。ああ、俺たちトーレス関係者も。今、俺に起きている異変も含めて、何としても解決してみせる。俺を大切に思ってくれる仲間たちと、これからも前を向いていくためにも。
Marine? Yeah, we're right there with you. It appears you to swallow you all we can, too. Cosper and Erebonia are neighbors, yes, but it's more that we've overcome enough as a team that we would never back out now. Yeah, teamwork's made the dream work enough times before, so why wouldn't we help? We, of course, are also here for you. Yeah, do you guys love these cute speeches? I'd bust one out too, if I had one to give. Yet for all we have on our side, there are still limits to what we can do. The real key to our success is her. True, as long as Elysium plays such a large role, its former administrator is going to make or break this. She's the best, perhaps the only hope you have of seeing tomorrow. Your name is Nabis, right? I hate to put this kind of pressure on you, but we're absolutely going to need you in this upcoming operation. Will you help us? What?
いいやって言ったの。あなたたちに力を貸すなんてごめんだわ。
You did not just say no. Read the room, Lapis. That's how a girl is. She doesn't let anyone push her into doing what she doesn't want to. So like you're bossing her around or something trivial. She can't go screw you guys, I'm out of here when the stakes are this damn high. You're saying no because you only want to help your friends?
勘違いしないで。相手がルーファスだって同じ。私が手を貸すんじゃない。むしろその逆よ。今回の事件の中心にはエリュシオンがある。だったらその解決は元管理者である私の使命であり責任だわ。つまりこの場じゃ私が一番の当事者なの。そこを履き違えないで。
Ich finde diesen Bait-and-Switch, den Love jetzt sieht auch eigentlich auch sehr cool, aber es passt eigentlich gut auch zu ihrem Character Development.
むしろあなたたちこそ全力で私に協力してもらうんだから。
Hey, turn it around, LP. She is technically correct. How does that technically matter?
よくないの。大切なことじゃない。
She's more of a character than you led me to believe, Ian. And believe me, I'm just as surprised at how much she's grown. Your friends have no doubt played a vital part in that. Can't argue with that logic. The distinction works in our favor too. We're here as friends, but as Erebonians, we can't officially interfere in Crossbill's affairs at the moment. I'm sure that was at the back of some of our minds when we agreed to step in. It was, but we are past the point where we can claim this only involves Crossbill. All of our lives are at stake here. At risk here. We want to help, but even if we didn't want to, this affects us as much as it does Crossbill. Crossbill, Erebonia, Liberal, it's everyone's problem all across the map. Yeah, it's a lot of people when you think about it. Yeah, but all across the maps, right. And we need everyone we can to get to help Labis and overcome this. Still, Neutron never turned away helping hand when they needed it. Force never turned them away either. Nor did the SSS. And we won't turn them away now. Exactly. What just happened? Are you ignoring me? Nope. We helped everyone feel like a team, that's all. Good girl, I'm so proud of you. I don't get why. I'd like to turn our discussion to what our present objectives should be. Labis, how exactly should we go about stopping the tower? Elysium came to be through the Orban network and spirit reigns. It existed in an entirely intangible state, so we taking control of it would normally be impossible. Right now, though, it exists in physical form through the tower's central terminal. That much is clear to me now that the signal jamming is gone. In other words, right now we have a chance. This is for make it possible for you to reinstate yourself as administrator. As long as we can reach the tower's center and I can wire myself directly to it, yes. If we do that, both the tower and the divine lightning should cease to function. Then we have our mission. One that's a lot easier said than done. Oh yeah. The towers are going to be difficult enough to pass, and the tower itself is built like a fortress. It's also worth noting that it's being protected by some sort of barrier which draws in near energy. The barrier's mana is so dense that I doubt even railway guns could break it. It's that durable? I fear it would be something like that. Before I can even think of teleporting aside, we need to take care of that barrier. We don't have anything strong enough, stronger than the railway guns in Crossbill, so if even they aren't up to the task... Let's not forget that the tower sits over a lake. We have one Merkaba hidden and ready for use, but it isn't going to be as easy as to get as the Escher Tree Wars. Not without enemy being armed to the teeth. My Merkaba is undergoing repairs in Erebonia after courageous too, so that one's out. We could have taken care of it if you had our Divine Knights, but unfortunately we're gonna be facing one instead on top of everything else. Yeah, there's gotta be something we can do though.
そのあたりは我々に任せてもらおうか。
Could it be Angie, George? Wait. Rita? Good to see you as well. Good to see you as always, Emma. Of course, she decides to swoop in right as you're discussing how to overcome a new or powering weapon. You don't always have to make a show of coming in to save the day, Rita. Oh, because you've never done it 1,000 times yourself, grandmother. I just couldn't afford to stay away, knowing the society, the professor mainly, is involved. If the force is getting in on protecting the beautiful ladies of Samuria from this new threat, then how could I skip out? If I get in on this action, I might get in on that action, you know what I mean? If only we didn't. You look well, Gro. It's up to you guys. I thought we were still in Arturia, Father Thomas. Must mean our ever-electing superiors realize they can't leave this to chance. You would be correct, even they can't ignore a broadcast so damning. So the SSS has been very busy. Hopefully I can give congrats once I'm back in Grospel. Hold on to the congrats, our work's not done yet. We've been conducting an independent investigation in the Empire from what I have heard. At the request of none other than the prince himself here. You may be unable to mobilize the Imperial Army, but there is a way to catch the enemy unawares, even if it involves an element of luck. If it works, however, you'll be able to get inside the tower. Really? What's the way then? Please, my dear. Inspire the surprise? That and I rather don't think we can afford to be too cautious with Elysium. That's smart of you, we can't rule out them being able to listen in on us somehow. What a horrific possibility. Shall we get to work on our operation? If you're willing to support me in that endeavor, of course, Commander Belts and Tova. I'd never turn it down. If until it hits, wir haben 5 Stunden, nicht 3. Till it hits 1700 oder, yeah. 700 hours to pull it off, so time is of the essence. Let's begin at once. Prince Olivier, Commander Bells, and Towa began ironing out the details on how to enter the tower. The assault team, comprised of the SSS, Class 7, and Rufus's party led them to prepare for this grand battle. They agreed that the best use of the time would be to rest and recharge by turning the newly liberated crossbow. This is going to be our last chance to prepare, but we've got less than half a day left, so there's only going to be so much that we can do. The bulk of the responsibility right now is with the commander and the others who are formulating a plan either way. Yeah, but we're still responsible for preparing for the fighting we're gonna be doing once we're in the tower. Indeed, I would like to tour the region and see how everything is doing while we can too. The backstories I got our hands on from the Rainfall Company should help us there. I'll explain the basics of fighting them later on. Thanks. How long have you been carrying those glasses around, by the way? I thought my mask would draw too much attention when walking around the city. Leider hab schon mal seine Maske ausgerüstet. The sky blends for everything. Shall we meet again here just before the operation is scheduled to begin then? Do you want now so that you may face what comes next without regrets? Huh? Makes sense, I guess. We shouldn't be getting too friendly with them. Wait, Lord Rufus. Can I help you, detective? So you look like you have something to say. Oh, I do. Thinking about it, this is our first time speaking since the panic rule before the war. Now that you mention it.
鳥かごの一件のお詫びと受け取ってくれてもいい。ミシュラムから軍も引き上げるので、改めて楽しんできたらどうかね。
ご配慮感謝します。一発殴りたくて仕方ありませんが。
If you're hoping to try and make good on what is said then, I would not be opposed to humoring you. But I would have thought there were better ways to use what precious little time you have left to us. I'm to agree. That's why I think it would be fruitful for you to travel around Crossbill with us. It's not possible to change the past, but during the upcoming operation, we will be fighting on the same team. The more time we spend preparing together, the easier I think we'll find it to back one another up if things get dicey. What do you say? Huh. Alright. I share Lloyd's view on the matter. I can't deny there's bad blood between us, but the stakes are too damn high here to be petty. Far from me to second guess our leader. That's right for you, always looking at the bigger picture. You gotta hand it to the guy. We'd like to come along too. The rest of my classmates have their own preparations to make, so they won't be joining us, but we have to learn as much as we can in their place. We've been going around separately until now, so we all need to see how everyone else fights. But even putting all of that aside, there's something I want you to see. I want you to see the strength of Crossbill's people. I want you to witness how even in times as hopeless as these, we never give up. Here's just pass. Keine Ahnung, wie das ausgesprochen wird. Well, seen reason to refuse? Yay, we get to hang out with Risha again. Who is our ex? Risha, maybe? Didn't know you knew them. It's a funny story. We met not that long ago. We are part of a secret assassins club. What? Like we needed any more crazy kids. Yes, I'm all ears if there's something you want to say. Who was what? Did he do something?
かつてエリュシオンの制御が奪われる直前、私は最後の未来演算をした。その時、この人のことがちらっと見えた気がするの。
Wait. Something going to happen to him?
心配しなくても別に死んだところを見たとかじゃないわ。かなり断片的で、なんとなくだけど。今回の事件、その裏にある真実。解き明かせるとしたら、おそらくあなただけよ。
Me?
うん。あなたにしか条件を揃えられない。見えたのはその結論だけで、どうやってそこに至るかもわからないけど。
I sure wish we had a few more details to go on. But that's a hard story to ignore, given Elysium's ability to predict the future. Okay, I'll keep what is said in mind. Thanks for telling me, Labis. I'm sure we will need all the help we can give once this whole thing kicks off. I thought I told you that this is my problem that you are saving, you are helping me. So you did. Chase it off then. Once operations are complete, we need to reassemble on the tower's rooftop. Yeah, so let's make sure that when we do, we're heading out with no regrets. Alright.